I got you stuck off the realness. I got you stuck off the realness. I got you stuck off the realness.
What's good, DC? I'm back with another DPS guide video. In this one, I'm going to be covering Sorcery Might DPS. This is a pet build. If you're a beginner player and you got low skill points and low artifacts, don't sweat it. This build is going to help you out. If you don't have multiple armories to switch back and forth from single target to AoE, don't sweat it. This build's got you covered. This build will help you get through most of the game's content till you reach endgame. Of course, it's might, so you have to go all might on your augments. I do have 2 precision mods at the top, but that's because this is an alt tune and I'm in the middle of switching over to might. So right here for the artifacts, you want Source Shard, Quizlet, and Grimorium Verum. Those are your main 3 artifacts. Now this is very important. For your allies, of course, Crypto for combat because he does a lot of damage and he's easy to rank up, but your main support ally is going to be Zatanna. Don't focus so much on my Aquaman. The only reason why I got him in there is to give my pets extra damage in case I get hit. But if I were to pick a second support ally besides Zatanna, it'll probably be Batman Who Laughs or Static. But Zatanna is the main one. You rank her up to 10 and she'll make this build broken for you. I promise you. Now for the stat points, you don't need really nothing in the weapon. I got 1 in the weapon, and then I'm flight on this tune. I don't recommend being flight, but I got one skill point into the flight so I can fly faster. And then for the iconic powers, I got Neo Venom boost. For the stat points, you want to go super powered, get all your critical attack damage, critical attack chance, and then get the rest of the skill points into might. Now for the loadout, the first ability is going to be Vengeance. The second ability will be Soul Bolt. For the third ability, you want Offering. The fourth ability is God Wave Strength, which you get from the Source Shard artifact. For the fifth ability, it's Neo Venom Boost, which you unlock from the iconic powers. And then the last ability is the Summoning Pet, which is Fury. Real quickly before we move on to the sparring target and how this rotation works. For the socket mods, you want Supercharged Neo Venom Boost for the headpiece. The next socket mod, you want Escalating Might. For the chest socket mod, you want Penetrating Strikes. For the hand socket mod, you want max damage. All the other socket mods really don't matter. This is an alt character. I only have 246,000 might on this tune. Most of that's coming from the gear and the artifacts. I don't have much skill points. I got about 104. But with that said, let's move on to the sparring target. Now let's get into rotation on the sparring targets. This build does it all. Single target, AoE, it doesn't matter. So you see this is single target right now. You're just going to be spamming Vengeance. Before you start attacking, you want to buff your Fury. So you're going to hit the Offering and then the God Wave Strength. And then you go right into Vengeance. And just spam Vengeance. The more you spam Vengeance, the more you're going to make Zatanna proc. The more Zatanna procs, the more Fury's going to get buffed. And you're going to be buffing your pets with God Wave Strength. When it comes off a cooldown, the more you spam your Vengeance, the more the cooldown comes off of God Wave Strength when that artifact is at 160 though. If you don't have the God Wave Strength at level 160, don't sweat it. Take your time. It doesn't even matter because you're going to be slapping. This build is very good. It's very easy to do. If I were to rank Sorcery as what is the most easiest powers to use in the game, Sorcery would be number 1. A 5-year-old can use this build that I'm showing you right here and be topping all the scoreboards. I promise you, this build is hilarious. Now, if you want to switch from single target to AoE, this is all you have to do, right? Let me do a few more hits here so you can see the damage numbers so you get an idea how this works. But again, you just spam one move over and over again, and you basically let the pets go at it. The pets do all the work for you. It's basically you just buff the pets. You spam one move to buff the pet some more with the ally, and then you buff the pet some more with your loadout. And if you add the trinket belt, you know, with your pet on the trinket belt, your buffs, your orbital strikes, all that, and you'll do even more damage with this build. It's broken. Now to switch from single target to AoE, you're just now gonna do different. You're gonna buff to start off, you're gonna buff your pet with God Wave Strength and Offering, and then you're gonna go into Soul Bolt. You're just gonna spam Soul Bolt instead of Vengeance. Vengeance is for single target, Soul Bolt is for AoE. So when you're in a raid situation, if you have a boss with ads, you just spam Soul Bolt until all the ads are dead, and then when the boss is by himself, you switch over to Vengeance. This build is dumb. It's stupid dumb. Like I said, a 5-year-old can use this build and top the scoreboards with it. I promise you. But that's about it, y'all. This is that simple. You can use this build as a beginner player, or if you have an alt tune, all you need is a Tana really, and your artifacts at least to level 80, and you'll start beating most of the casual players on LFG chat, even the ones that have 200 artifacts. Believe it or not, you'll start beating them with this build, and you don't need to be maxed out. Now, if you encounter a try-hard player that's art swapping on you and has everything maxed out, of course they're gonna beat you. But want to know what's crazy about this build? You'll be able to keep up with them. Maybe not neck to neck. You'll probably be 5, 7, even 10, 15 mil behind them, but you'll be beating everybody else that's not keeping up with them. Guarantee you that. And if you get it all maxed out, you're going to be keeping up to those tryhards that are art swapping with this build. This is why I like Sorcery. Yes, it is very easy to use. It takes no skill. If I were to rank this power as what's the easiest power to use in the game from number 1 to number 15, sorcery will be number 1 at the top, with munitions right next to it. These are powers that when you use might, they take no skill to do. They're basically you hitting one move over and over again, and then you're just buffing pets, and it's doing everything for you. With that said, I hope you like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video. I'm out.
I got you stuck off the realness. I got you stuck off the realness. I got you stuck off the realness.